do you become the CEO of your mindset? That's a loaded question.
How long have you got? Okay. How do you become the CEO of your mindset? You have to take ownership. You've got to understand that this is just data. But more importantly, probably above it all, is get help. Hire a coach or mentor, someone that is going to be able to help you unfunk, deblock, and become that untriggerable.
If you are new to this channel, please support us by subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the bell. We publish it 3 times a week. Incredible tutorials, interviews, strategies, and all sorts of things to help you to grow your business. Hello. I am with the amazing Natasha Clarke, and I'm so excited to have you on the show. We go way back, and we didn't even realize how far back we go, so I cannot wait to just unpack on this show. But Natasha, I want you to do your intro, just to tell everybody what it is that you do, who you help, and how you help them, please.
Love it. I am Natasha Clarke. I'm a mindset and business coach for female entrepreneurs that want to scale their business beyond their wildest freaking dreams to be able to create the success that they desire.
I love it. Now, your journey, Natasha, is just brilliant because like me, you didn't start out coaching and you didn't even start out in business. So can you just walk back and just tell us, what is the backstory and how did you become this amazing woman that you are, this amazing coach that you are today?
So I started off not in business and nothing to do with coaching. It was actually dancing. That was like my dream. Think MTV backing dancer. Like, that's what I wanted to be. That was the dream. And unfortunately, due to a back injury from the age of 18, 19, I had to give up dance, and it was all I knew. So that was like the dream crushed. So then I went into a girl band, worked really hard there. We got signed by a record label. We got a TV show, and we're like, this is it. But then due to my back injury, I had to pull out of that because I needed more major surgery. So I kind of felt like everything I was doing, the rug was getting pulled from beneath me. And I was like, oh my goodness, why me? I was in a big pity party. And then I fell into modeling. And, it was enjoyable, but it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't what I wanted to do. And then the more I kind of thought about what it is that I wanted to do, I loved the business side of things. So I thought, I've got it. I'm going to start my own modeling agency because I know the business and I know models. And it wasn't successful. Like everything you shouldn't and not do in business, it shouldn't happen. I was like, oh no. And now looking back, it's because it wasn't in alignment. So then when I finally put my big girl pants on and said, right, what do you really, truly desire, Natasha? What do you really want to do? And I was like, I want to be a coach. I want to help people. But at that point, all I knew of was people like Louise L. Hay and Tony Robbins. So little old Natasha, who wanted to be a dancer, actor and singer, becoming one of those giants was it felt impossible. And it's until I finally said, right, I need to start with what I've got right now and then start the journey, start the process. So I did. I become a qualified coach. I started out working one-on-one with clients and kind of just solely focused on mindset because I'd had my own transformation in that. And then as I grew and I made my business get to 6 figures, I was like, right, now I want to teach other people how to do this.
Wow. Oh my God. You have had literally, if I could, being somebody, and one of the things I teach is storytelling, if I could trace your story, I'd literally be going up and down and up and down and up and down because it's just such a wonderful and rich journey because you are not one of those people who sort of just woke up and 6 figures fell out and, snap your fingers and you start getting clients. You had to really do the work. Now, your genius zone, Natasha, is mindset, right? So I really would like to focus the first part of this conversation on the person who is watching or listening to this and is, probably maybe the pandemic has hit them really hard and they haven't quite recovered, or it's the current possible recession, or it's just something else in their lives and they're really thinking, how do I pick myself up? I know it was a while ago for you, but can you just walk through the process for how does one pick themselves up when you truly feel like life just keeps hammering you?
Mm-hmm. Great question. I think the how isn't your job. What you have to focus on is energetically, you have got to believe with every core of your body and your bones that this is what you want to achieve. So, for example, when I was starting off and I was looking at where I wanted to get to, 6 figures it felt impossible.
Yes.
I was like, no way can somebody make, I thought they were lying. I honestly did. I saw the people on social media thinking, there's no way you're making 6 figures. Until I worked with my first coach, and there were 65 people in the group, and it was 5K to join the group. Do the maths, right? So these people were not lying. But what the most thing you need to focus on straight away is your mindset, as in regards to your belief system. And what I work with my clients is the unconscious mind. That's what's on autopilot. You can't do this. You're not good enough. You're not slim enough. You're not articulate enough. You've got a South London accent. No one's going to take you seriously. All of this became my conditioning of why little Natasha from South London couldn't be successful and make 6 figures, multi 6, 7 figures. So what happens then, we believe this and we go on autopilot, and mind finds evidence around you of why you can't achieve that. So your main job is to focus on reprogramming your unconscious mind and putting out there to the universe, I believe I can do this. If this is going to happen, and believe it to your core. Even when the reality is showing you something very, very differently. Even when I was in debt, had my overdraft, I was sitting with the feeling of what it would feel like to have 6 figures. Oh, that's the energy I was in.
I love it. Now, let's make that a little bit more practical for people who are listening and watching. You know, what are some practical things that one can do? There are several things. So, you know, we read books, we watch amazing people, and we listen to podcasts, and we hear these things. But how do we put it into practicality? Let's say somebody is, you know, they are in a really tough spot in their life. You wake up. What should, let's pick a morning routine, look like, for example?
So I would say you need non-negotiables. So for me, mine is meditating, journaling, and then I do EFT, so emotional freedom tapping. So for me, every single morning without fail, they're part of my morning routine. And gratitude, sorry, I do add that in. Because for me to journal, I've got to sit into who I want to become that day, that week, that month. So energetically, where you are right now to where your goal is, it isn't always the strategy that's the problem, that's the gap. In fact, the majority of the time is energetically, you don't feel aligned to that version of yourself. So things like your morning practices, before you even think about opening the laptop or speaking to clients, you need that time to work on you. So mentally, you're already there energetically. So when things pop up throughout the day, which they do, you know, we're running big businesses, we have teams, we have clients, all of those things, you have to be making sure that you're on point. Your vibe is there energetically.
Yes, love it. So meditating, journaling, EFT, gratitude. Natasha, I want to break each one down to talk a little bit further into them. So let's start with meditating. Meditating, I'm going to be honest to you all watching, you know, my family, my online family, and to you, Natasha, meditating is one of those things that I have not got my mind around, because my mind is always busy. It's going, you know, and, you know, with my own journey, you know, through life and the various pitfalls that I have had, oftentimes meditating for me can, I'm a little bit afraid sometimes. It's like, I don't want to go to the dark place. So how do you meditate in a positive way and in a way that really drives you forward? What are some strategies for meditating specifically?
Okay, don't be scared of that fearful place though. Sometimes we've got to go to that void and that quietness for those brain waves and magical downloads that come. So when I first started, I would always do guided meditation because, like yourself, my mind, and I'm a generator in human design, so I'm very much like a go-getter, get things done. So to quiet my mind, I was like, now what do I do? Yeah. There should be something I'm doing. What do you mean be silent? Yeah. So then I would always say, try guided meditation, so you're actually being guided through the process. Then, once you get to that point, even if it's 5 minutes, you know, it doesn't need to be 2 hours worth of silence. 5 minutes so you can just gather your thoughts, center yourself. So then when you come out of that meditation, the majority of the time I've had like a download or something where I'm like, oh, I can't believe that has come up. So when I have a feeling, let's say it's not an empowering thought, I then go and journal. So it's a chance for my subconscious mind to download everything that's coming out that I may, and as humans, we kind of go on like a bit of an autopilot. So it's time for that to kind of put those downloads down. So then I can action those so they don't stop me.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Is it possible to meditate on the go? Right? When I think about meditating, I think you have to sit and that's what a lot of people think meditating is. The way that I personally have found solace, or what I enjoy, and I don't know if this is right or wrong, and that's why you're on the show, it's I like to meditate whilst I'm on a run. Like I'm running, and that's when I personally get my download. Is that right? Is that wrong? You know?
Absolutely. Meditation, there is no right or wrong when it comes to your morning routine, as long as your energy is behind it. If you come out of that run and you're like, oh, Tash, I've just had this amazing idea, or I feel like this, then it's working for you. This is good. So, for example, for me, I do something where it's called like a badass walk. So it's when I'm walking, I'm listening to like my badass tunes, like Beyonce or, you know, Kanye, or something that makes me feel empowered. And I walk as if the multi-7-figure business owner. What decisions does she make? What does she wear? What does she feel? How's she vibing?
Yes.
So when I come out of that walk, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. So that's how I feel of my runs. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so meditating, there's no right or wrong. It's really about finding what works for you. And if you're a mover like, you know, like me, or you don't really like stillness in that way, it's still okay. It still works. I love that. Now, journaling. In all honesty, this is one of the things that my best friend, who, is big in this world, in the mindset world, always says, Pam, you need to journal. Pam, are you journaling? And when I think about journaling, I think about, when we were younger and you kept these diaries about these boys or these groups that you were part of in school, and something goes wrong and you go, journaling. So now as a grown up, I think because I journaled poorly, as a teenager, as a young adult, now as a grown up, I really need to find what is journaling. I need to reframe what journaling is. So for anybody who is starting out in journaling, Natasha, being the coach that you are, what is journaling and how do we do it effectively?
I feel that journaling is an escapism. That's how I feel about journaling. And like yourself, when I first started journaling, I was like, I don't know what to write. Like, this just feels really silly. I am happy. I'm a millionaire. Like, no, that's not the vibe. Whereas now I see journaling as you open your journal and you sit there with your pen and you just go, okay, what's on my mind right now? You don't have to sit and visualize things in an empowering way if you don't feel to. What you can do is just brain dump what's on your mind. Okay, what's coming up for me right now? I feel fear. I feel fear that I'm going to invest into this coach. I feel fear that I'm going to put this offer out there and it's not going to happen. Okay, but why? What's coming up? What's beneath that? And I kind of layer it down with my clients. So it's never just that what you think about. It's never, I'm scared of putting this offer out there and no one buys. Yeah, but what does that actually mean? Because when you get down to the root of it, it's you don't feel enough. We're validated by how much money we make or how the offer has gone viral or we've got 15,000 followers on Instagram. But we need to get to the root of worthiness. And this is where I feel like journaling comes in, because there's no judgment. Nobody's going to look at this, at your journal. It's about you being able to kind of have that time to download everything that's on your heart and your soul and then rework it. So it's not a block that's keeping you stuck. In fact, we're actually able to work what it's going to look like. So let's say a problem comes up and you address it and we get down to the root of what it actually is. Then we want to, because we don't want to just leave it there, then we'd bring it over to, what do we want it to feel like? What do we want to feel like about this? What would it feel like? And I always play this with my clients, the what if game. So you play the what if you done this podcast and it went absolutely viral? What if 10 people signed up, paid in full, were like, I need to work with you? What if somebody came and got in touch with you through the Instagrams and said, listen, I need you to be on my TV show. Like, I love what you do. Don't allow mind to go, no, but that can't happen. Why can't it? We're in the world of possibilities. Like, we're entrepreneurs. Nothing we do is logical. It's not logical, the amount of money we make or the impact we make or the fact we change lives or we get paid to talk. None of it's logical. So why are you being logical now?
Yeah, and I love that, and I want to add to it. I always think to myself, if it can happen for somebody else, why not me? And I say to my clients sometimes when they sit on the other side of Zoom and they're like, Pam, I can't do this like you do. I can't. I say, look at me. Do I have two heads? Do I have two heads? I just like to bring it home. And you're absolutely, I love the what if game. I'm going to definitely use that. The what if, because what if it does happen? Can we just, be excited about the possibilities of life instead of the fear behind it? So I love that. So that is what journaling allows you to do. The other thing I'm getting from journaling, from what you've shared is, and this is where sometimes I struggle, I know a lot of people struggle, and it's very easy to bottle things up. So can you talk a little bit more about the impact of journaling on that release and just the importance of that?
Do you mean this, you're scared to put it down on paper, so you bottle it up? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, just bottling up. You're scared to put it on paper, scared to even talk about it. You're just scared to, it's just in your head and it's just in your head and it's a block for you.
Okay. Yes. So this is where it ties in with unconsciousness. So your subconscious is programmed to just keep you alive. That's all it's programmed to do. So you ruminating the same thoughts and keeping it inside of it, you're just up in your head. And it's just going to ruminate the same thing. And then what mind's going to do is find evidence. Let's say you're like, I'm really scared to scale my business. Like, I'm so comfy where I am now. Everything feels safe. I like my clients. I like how much money I make, blah, 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 blah. The fearfulness of the unknown is where subconscious goes, no, don't do it. Don't do it. So when you face the fear, it's kind of like you take its power away. You have to say what it is. Let's say when you call fear out, it loses its power. Because at the moment, fear in your head is something absolutely huge. Oh my God, if I go across that road and a car comes and it paralyzes you. And this was great when we were getting chased by saber-toothed tigers, but we're not anymore, okay? And all you're doing is putting your face on social media like it's not the end of the world. So what it does is it enables you, it's kind of like a gateway where it opens your soul up to allowing it to come out. And the first time you do it, you'll be like, oh wow, it actually wasn't that bad. And what it's going to do, it open the floodgates. And the more you can step into what you want your life to become, what it looks like, what it feels like, the impact you're doing on people's lives. I used to journal about clients going, oh my God, Natasha, working for you is the best thing ever, way before I had clients. You know, I would journal about how I'd spend my money, how I'd invest into coaches and how I'd invest into property and have stocks and shares and all this when I was in debt. So this is what I mean about really tuning in and tapping into the best version of yourself. And this is just one of the great ways that you can do it is through journaling out, for sure.
Yeah, I love that. And just something else that popped into my mind, I don't remember where I heard this or whether I read it somewhere, but a strategy that I used for my mindset work at one point was when I was, didn't have any money, was I got the highest currency that I could find in one note. And that was, of course, £50. And I would just walk around with it. I would just walk around and I would just envision, what would it feel like to have loads and loads and loads of this, the highest currency possible? Was I crazy, or is that an effective thing to do for your mindset, Natasha?
Oh, sure. Don't forget what you're doing is when we're repeating something, when we're stepping into the feeling of something, because everything we want is a feeling. Driving the dream car, the baby, the husband, whatever it is that you desire is all a feeling. Yes. So what we need to do is, instead of having that gap of this is the money and this is me, we bridge that by going, this is what the feeling is going to be like, because you're not going to get the money first and then you'll feel the feeling. You need to feel the feeling now, like you were going around flossing your £50 note. You were stepping into the abundant pound that you are and that you then become. But it all started with the feeling first.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. 100%. All right. Let's talk EFT. I do know a little bit about EFT because I have a client who is a boss at EFT and she does incredibly well. But for those who are watching and who are wondering what is EFT and how do I tap into this, so to speak, can you just break down what it is and perhaps share some exercises or just some things that we can take action on today using EFT?
Yes, so EFT, if you don't know what it is, it's emotional freedom tapping or technique. I like to do things with a little bit of a twist because I am kind of I'm obsessed with neuroscience and I'm obsessed with the subconscious mind. I like to intertwine them. And what I do with my clients is something called RRT, which is rapid resolutional therapy. And that's about changing the way your mind is programmed to think, because it's all just data. And as soon as mind can understand that we're just analyzing data, we're not attaching any meaning to it, I then bring both of them together. So tapping is when you're tapping in the meridian points. And what this does is it breaks down the pathway. So let's say you're used to thinking the same thoughts and it's going round and round again. What we're doing is we're going, and we're like creating a blockage where we go, no, we're not going to think the same things. We're going to train our mind to think very differently. And this is how EFT and rapid resolution therapy comes together to be able to tap into those meridian points so your unconscious thinks very differently and is able to shift the way you've been thinking to see things differently. And as soon as we see things differently, we act differently, which gets us different results.
Oh, my. What I'm getting from that is working on your mindset and your subconscious, it's not just about thinking about it. Like, you can literally just tap into it physically, tap into it. And in terms of tapping into it, can you just show a couple of things that you might do?
Yes.
If it's okay with you, Natasha, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
A couple of things that you might do to tap something, away.
Yeah. So let's say you're feeling a little bit, let's say you want to get to your next money goal. Okay. So let's say you're making 10K a month and you're like, I want to double it. And all of a sudden this fear comes up. How? And you go, okay, yeah, I remember Natasha saying how's not my job, but my mind's going, yeah, but how? How? And you're like, okay, calm. The great thing about EFT is you're able to vocalize the thoughts and feelings that you've got. The universe isn't judging, going, oh my God, she said she's not going to make 20K, guys, means she's not going to make 20K. No, you're allowed to say it out. So you would tap down, let's say, the karate point, and you're able to say, even though I've been feeling so worried about how I'm going to make 20K, I know that I am enough. I know that I'm worthy enough and that everything's going to work out for me. I know that I'm feeling, so you're able to vocalize how you've been feeling. And then as you go through the meridian points, you then can put in an affirmation, but an affirmation that you actually believe. If you're not going to be able to get behind, I'm a multimillionaire, and mine's going, no, you're not, because your bank balance, you only have 20K, whatever. Instead, you want to be, money flows to me easily. I know that I don't have to work out the how, but I just need to work on my value that I'm giving on social media. So can you see how you're convincing mind of how there's opportunities and possibilities without being stuck with, this is my reality right now and how am I going to get out of it?
I love it. So the karate point, I don't know if I'm doing it correctly, right?
Yes. So you can do it either with 2 fingers or you can do your whole palm, whatever's feel better for you. Yeah.
Okay, right.
And then we've got the tap of our head.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we've got here, just in between your 2 eyebrows. Yes. Then either side of your eye. Then underneath your eye.
Okay.
Then here between your nose and your mouth. Yeah. Your chest bone. And this is always a strange one, but it's just underneath your armpit.
Okay.
Yes.
And do these different tapping points, do they all have different meanings, or is it a matter of, can I just walk around and go, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire?
Do you believe that you're a millionaire, though?
100. But as Pam, I'm speaking as Pam.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yes.
Then absolutely, yes. You go around and you go, I make money so easily. Like, millions just flow into my bank account all the time. I just got to do one post and I make 100K. Yes, you absolutely can. Because, Pam, your energy's behind it. Someone, let's say, that's just making 6 figures to then jump to 7 figures. If you don't have the energy and belief behind it, start smaller. Start with money flows to me every day. Wow, look how I was able to make 6 figures. Making multi-6 is going to be easy for me. So can you see, it's all about the belief system that's behind it. I don't believe in faking it till you make it, because mind is so conditioned to think and see evidence. It's like a Google search bar. What we need to do is help it to see possibilities of other ways that we can get behind.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that. That was a brilliant offering. Thank you for showing us that practically, because I believe that everybody watching this will be able to actually start doing this. And if you're watching this, I hope you are watching and tapping along. And if you're only listening to this, go ahead and hop to YouTube, where you can find this specific interview and tap along with me and Natasha. Now, let's move on to gratitude. I love this. This is one that I practice like there is no tomorrow, and recently one thing that I did, I bought 2 A5 notebooks for myself and my husband. And before we go to bed, so I attach a pen to each one. Before we go to bed, I say, come on, babe, 5 minutes. We write down what we're grateful for on each of our notebooks, and then we swap to each other. Yeah, we swap, and then we read what we both wrote. And it has been amazing for my marriage. I've been married for 11 years, and I can say that that's one of the things that has really helped us. Now, let's talk about gratitude in the business world for entrepreneurship. Can you just talk a little bit more about some strategies behind gratitude and why we do it?
Yeah. Gratitude, you want to tap into everything that you are grateful for right now. Because how do you expect to get to that next level of success, whatever that may be for you, if you're not even grateful for what you've got right now? And so many of us can get stuck in, yeah, but I only make this, or I only have got this. What do you mean only? Like, think about where you are right now in your business journey and think about what you used to make. So, for example, for me, that my when I made 60K, I was like, wow, I used to make £30,000 a year, working a whole year, and I've doubled that in 1 month. So tapping into everything you've got right now, but a great little kind of secret sauce is, so part of my gratitude on one side of it is everything I've got right now, everything I'm grateful for, from health to wealth to my husband to every single morning when I wake up, I'm grateful to wake up, to be alive, because we can take this, far too like it's something that, oh, it's a given. It's not. So taking it down to the core foundations of, I'm so grateful that I get to be alive and I woke up and experienced another day. I'm grateful to live the life that I do, that I love what it is that I do. I'm grateful that I get to impact my clients' lives. And then what I do is I write down lists of things that I'm grateful for that haven't made its way to my life just yet, that are coming. The order has been up in the cosmic ordering, and I'm now just waiting for the delivery. So I'm so grateful for fill in the blank. It feels amazing. I'm so beneficial. I'm so full of gratitude that I'm able to fill in the blank. So again, can you see it always coming back down to the feeling and the energy before you even receive something?
100%. I love that. Now, how often are you doing this for your own mindset practice? How often are you doing this for yourself, Natasha?
Every day. Every
Yeah.
day. It's, oh, for sure. And I loved the example you gave about your husband, because now this is something that me and my husband do all of the time. And I may even just say to him, what's 5 things you're grateful for? And when we first got together, he used to nickname me Positive Polly. He'd never met someone so positive in their life. And I was like, to him, it was like, gratitude. Like, what do you mean we're grateful to be alive? Now he's saying it to me. Now we're having like couple dinner date nights and everyone's going, oh, let's play the gratitude game, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's everything now that you're so grateful for, because when you're grateful, you've got the universe, God, source wants to deliver even more of that for you.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes, I love that 100%. Thank you for sharing that. So we've been talking a lot about meditating. So the 4 strategies, the 4 key strategies: meditating, journaling, EFT, and of course, gratitude. So I want to talk about real quick waking wealthier, right? Wake to wealth. So Natasha, we've heard your journey and we've seen some of the strategies that you have used to get to where you are today, and the amazing coach that you are. What was the one moment that you realized that all of these things that you've been doing, the meditating, the journaling, the EFT, the gratitude, it had all come together and you are now able to wake up wealthier every single day? What was that moment? Can you share the story and take us on that journey?
Yes. So I remember when it all came together with the mindset and the energetics. So feeling truly worthy. And I'll give you an example. When I had that 60K month, obviously I was elated. I was like, oh my goodness, yes, it's all working. It's all coming together. It's incredible. And it really shown me what is possible, what you can create. And kind of being grateful for my journey and the adversities and challenges I've been through life, because I can now share my journey of this normal person that's created this life. Instantly what came up to me is the pressure of the worthiness. Can I do this again? Can I do this again? And it took away very quickly from the glory of what I'd actually achieved. Because then I felt pressure. Wow, what if I don't do it next month? Does it mean I'm a failure? Does it mean I'm never going to do this again? Was it a fluke? Am I good enough? And that's really kind of where the inner, deep, energetic work came in for me. I'd done all the mindset work, the strategy I was smashing. I'd obviously got this success. And then I was like, I need to go deeper. Because what I've become very aware is we're very validated by external circumstances and situations. So a client saying yes, paying in full, boom, it's because I'm a badass. Driving our dream cars, amazing, it's because of this. Just been asked to be on this publication, amazing, because of this. But what happens if you take all of that away and you go down to the core? And for you to really kind of activate that next level of success for you, you've got to do that inner work, and it's energetic. It's not just the foundation kind of mindset stuff. It's really about taking it to a whole deeper level. So when you are able to replicate the same months, make more months, or make less months, it means nothing about who you are as a person.
And that is just such a biggie. That is just such a big thing. It's so easy in this entrepreneurial world to be validated by external circumstances, like you said. It's so easy. And when those things don't happen, and as we know, and this is one thing that I always say, there are levels and there are levels and there are levels. right? And between level to level, there are going to be challenges. There are going to be mindset practices that need to happen. And, I say to people, you're trying to hit six figures. Trust me, when you get there, the next goal is going to come, and you're going to need to do the work to get to that goal. Then there's the next goal. And it just never, ever stops. But when everything is all said and done, who is the person at the heart of this? Who is at the foundation of it? Do you still love yourself? Do you still appreciate yourself? Do you still want to go and get when everything is all said and done? And I just love that you have pointed that out, because I have felt the same way when something has happened, and instead of just being grateful, that fear just seeps in and it takes away the enjoyment of just that gratitude. And I like this because it just shows that we're both human, and we're both human, and we're all human, and we're all just trying to go from one level to the other, to experience to experience. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I feel like I've heard this saying, different level, different devil. And I don't actually like that. I see it as a different level, a different opportunity to do the deeper, more wider work, for you to really be able to step into yourself and know that you are innately enough, and then everything else is just added bonuses and extras. Don't chase the money, don't chase the success. Chase just trying to be a better person that you are. The money's the byproduct. Trust me, it will come. It will come, and it will get more and more and more. And the more you can master the energetics of money, because that's all it is that's all money is energy. As soon as you can tap into that a lot quicker, that's where you can quantum leap your wealth. That's why people can go from this to this. It isn't because they've done this magic one strategy. Do this one post and you're going to go absolutely worldwide viral, right? It's about they've done the inner work to match that up.
Yeah, I love it. I love it just reminded me of a saying that Winston Churchill said, and I think it says, success is going from failure to failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Yeah. I just love that, because it's just what you've said. It's, we do the work, but what if it fails every time, right? It's the energy that we put in behind it that helps you to keep going until you hit that money goal. Then you might fail again. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah.
And let me just add to that. We're talking about failing. So when I had the 60K month, I done the exact same strategy and made £600. Right? Just let that land. Right? 60K, 600, using the exact same strategy. That is where I needed to go deeper. Once then I'd done the deeper energetic work. Of course, that never happened again. But I just want to share that with you, because you look up to these coaches and think they never go through bad times or trials or tribulations, or never have to go through any obstacles they go through. Yes, they do. And what it makes us is better freaking coaches, that I'm able to go, this is why I'm so passionate about you've got to do the energetic work to match the next level of success, because I've been there, I've done it, I've experienced it, and now I want to teach you exactly how to do that.
There you go. And that's why I always say it's such a blessing. Every downfall, every pitfall, every quote unquote failure that we have, I look at it as, okay, brilliant, Pam, what can you learn from this, right? And how can you then pour this into blessing other people, into holding somebody else's hand and raising them up in their downtime? My. Thank you, Natasha. That has been wonderful. So we've come to the part of wildcard. So, wildcard, for anybody who's watching or listening for the first time, Natasha doesn't even know what questions I'm going to ask. But simply, I have 5 questions that I have collected from our community. And I'm going to ask Natasha to choose a number between 1 and 5. And whatever number she gives me, I will ask that specific question. So, Natasha, just to confirm, you have no idea what these questions are?
No idea, but I love the sound of it.
All right, brilliant. So, Natasha, can you please choose for me any number from number 1 to 5?
I'm going to pick 2. My son is 2, Santiago, so I'm going to pick 2.
Oh, bless. Okay, wonderful. I love that. Okay, number 2. Number 2, very good, actually. Number 2 says, how do you become the CEO of your mindset? That's a loaded question.
How long have you got? Okay, how do you become the CEO of your mindset? You have to take ownership. You've got to understand that this is just data. But more importantly, probably above it all, is get help. Hire a coach or mentor, someone that is going to be able to help you unfunk, deblock, and become that untriggerable woman. That's my biggest thing. I wish I'd invested sooner into a coach. I really, really, truly do. Yeah. And
Me too.
And I kind of envy other coaches now that are starting their journey that invest straight away. I'm like, you're a freaking badass.
Yes. And you know, the funny thing is, everybody who's been on this show has said the same thing. And I'm like, I put up both of my hands. I was the person who wanted to bootstrap and thought I could do it on my own. So that is just get help as quickly as you can, as quickly as you can. Okay, brilliant. Thank you for that, Natasha. If people want to find you, where can they find you?
Instagram is like my home. It's my hub. And that's at Natasha Clarke Coaching. I'm on there every single day, giving tons of free value, always up in my stories. So yeah, I would love to see your audience come on over.
Fantastic. And I had a look on your website. I know that you have a couple of freebies, etc. Is there something that you would like to share with our audience? We can pop a link under the video.
Yes, of course. I've got a badass boss babe meditation, which is really kind of, as we were talking about, kind of reprogramming your mind for you to step into that badass version of yourself, which is, a freebie that I can for sure give your audience the link for.
Fabulous. So we're going to be linking it below this specific episode. Thank you all for watching. Go ahead and find Natasha. When you find her, make sure you let her know that you found her through me, Pamela Bassa, and the Wake to Wealth Show. Thank you so much for being a wonderful guest. I have learnt a ton from today. It's been so much fun with you, Natasha. Thank you for being such a giver.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Wonderful. Thank you all, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you once again for joining me on this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And before you go, take a look at the pieces of content on the screen right now where we walk you through various strategies to scale your business. So don't go away and jump into any of the cards on the screen right now.